welcome you, madam. I also welcome the guest chief speaker of the day, Mr. Iswesa, who is a family member with us since the journalism department and journalism program is with her there. And we celebrated also RTI Day in PG Council Hall, I think 2 years back. And Sir was the speaker, chief speaker also. So on behalf of the department, I welcome you, sir. I welcome in absence, he will be joining Mr. Marcel Paricha, RTI Master Trainer with us very soon. And I also welcome all my dear students, research scholar and faculty members and my colleague Dr. Hemant Kumar Das with Manoranjan, the RTI practitioner and all the activist members for celebrating this day. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I'm again honored enough to introduce our guests with us. Professor Mitali Chinara, ma'am, is a career economist. She is not only a teacher but a member of several empowered government bodies, and most notably, she's a singer, illustrious singer, and also the winner of Utkal Sangit Natak Academy Award. She's a great teacher and a leader as well, and also I'm privileged that she's also my teacher. So we are proud to have Mitali ma'am with us. Uh, as ma'am rightly said, Dilip Biswai sir is not only our family member but someone who always gives us new projections whenever we plan something, whatever event we organize for the students and scholars. He is always having a hindsight strength, always being with us. He is one of the very prominent senior journalists of the state, uh, a veteran journalist with almost 4 decades of experience in the domain of economy, politics, and current affairs in Odisha as well as the national level. He has contributed to the outlets like Indian Express, the Economic Times, and also different independent platforms. He is a consultant across several digital as well as physical platforms in the media channel. Uh, in September 2020, he was appointed as the State Information Commissioner, Odisha, and this role, which he played pivotally, not only as a commissioner but also someone who gave some very crucial verdicts, which I think previously I have heard from sir, but today I think you all would be happy to know that from the horse's mouth. So he appealed for something which the RTI as a body should change. How it could go to a closer proximity to the people. And in that respect, the promotion of transparency in government, he has written several times to the government to evaluate the norms as well as to bring about some change, being a journalist himself. So we are so proud and privileged to have Sir amidst us again with us. And as Manoranjan Sir has told me previously, although he is not with us physically, he will be joining us in a short while. Mr. Harsha Paricha, he is a master RTI trainer with the government, the Department of Information and Public Relations, Government of Odisha. He will be joining us soon. We're also happy and privileged to have Mr. Manoranjan Panda sir with us. He is not only a ICSSR doctoral fellow with us of journalism, he has been an instrumental force behind this movement called the RTI movement since its inception. And he has also rightfully established a forum called RTI Clinic Odisha, which supports projects and helps people filing RTIs and all kinds of support to the people who actually need information but cannot reach the legitimate sources or don't know how to do that. So I welcome all of you, and again I'd like to thank everyone, and then I'd like to invite Professor Dr. Mitali Chinara ma'am to present her views and enlighten us. Mitali ma'am.
I hope you will all excuse me because I'm not well in the sense that I'm suffering from a cold. So, respected Dilip Babu, who I know personally since long, he is kind of a leading light in the field of economic journalism, mostly because that's the field I know him as. Respected Pratima ma'am, my dear student and now colleague Hemant, and all of you, dear students. So it's an honor to be here. It's not that a department of public art journalism that disturb me. It's always a pleasure being at at an academic discussion. I do not know much about RTI in the sense that I know what it is, not that I am totally ignorant, but I do not know much about the nitty gritty of RTI because I have only been at the receiving end of RTI, where I have been complying to the RTI queries, and we get so much hassle replying to useless. I would go to the extent of saying it useless because most of them are useless because I was as a looking at it, many of the or the lion's share of the RTI applications are frivolous. And I have been at the receiving end in the sense at some position or other, I have been replying to this, I mean responding and responding to this useless, frivolous, agenda driven kind of with a not with the spirit of RTI, but with the intention of raising some doubt or harming someone with that intention. I think without keeping the spirit and the motive behind RTI, all those RTIs have been at the receiving end. Not me, most of us have been at that end. Whoever has occupied some position, some responsibility, have been in some job, has been responding to all those useless RTI applications. Notwithstanding all those, RTI, the right to information, is one of the legislations, as Hemant has said, 7,303 days starting from 12th of October 2005, if I am not wrong. So 12th of October 2005, the RTI Act was implemented. It was passed in the Parliament on 15th of June 2005. The history of that you must all be knowing, needless to go in. I mean, I should not be repeating because I am here to listen to Dilip Babu, and because he is a practitioner of RTI, he has been doing it as the RTI commissioner, information commissioner. So, notwithstanding this aspect of the act, RTI Act was implemented in order to give voice to the people. In order to, so in one of the, I mean, Rajnarayan versus State of Uttar Pradesh case, Supreme Court said that right to information should be treated as a fundamental right under Article 19 of the Indian Constitution. You must be knowing that. So, I mean, I had forgotten all that, but I have just recapped it. So it's a fundamental right, information, right to information by the citizens. We say in a democratic setup, you know. So when living in a democratic setup, when you say that democracy is of the people, by the people, and for the people, this should be practiced. It should not be confined to the textbooks or to the notes of students and confined to the examination answer scripts. So it should be for the people. Most important, it should be for the people. When you are saying that democracy should be practiced, there should be transparency. And one of the one of the methods or instruments with this transparency in governance is supposed to be addressed or supposed to be ensured is through this RTI Act. That is the reason why RTI Act was put into place. Before that, you must be knowing several state acts were there, but a central act. The purpose was that to empower the citizenry, to raise their voice, to ensure that the voices are heard, to ensure that there is transparency in governance, there is most importantly, there is accountability. People can ask why you did what you did. You know, you cannot just say that I will do this and I'll get away with it. You are in a public office. You are in a public space. And why I am here, I'll never forget. I should not forget. I should not be allowed to forget that this is a public office, right? So it's a public office, and democracy is that for the people, for the citizenry, and RTI Act is for that, I suppose. That's how I know it. All right. So usually, what happens is that you must have another adage: power corrupts, absolute power corrupts.
Absolutely.
True. So when you are not accountable, when you can afford to forget that you are here not for your own personal gratification, but for serving, giving the service to the people. To say that you are here to serve, whoever comes into a civil service, be it state or center, says that he or she has entered it for public service. To what extent it's a public service, or to what extent it's self-service, that is for all of us to know and see and realize and observe and feel good about it. So RTI is an act which was put in place in order to keep a check on this. A democracy must and should have checks and balances. RTI was meant for that. And this RTI Act, after 7,000, I like this statistic. I'm an economist, so I always love numbers, 303 days,
Like
right?
today is 15 plus 10 is equals to 25 day.
So,
ଆଜି 15 plus 10 25
कौन है?
ଆଜିର ଦିନଟା ବହୁତ କ୍ରୁସିଆଲ ଏଇଥିପାଇଁ
कौन है?
କାରଣ
पूरा
ଆଜି
कौन
15 plus 10 ସମାନ 25
October
Oh, October process. This is nice. This is
I'm not
nice.
a mimicry.
Yes. Okay. So these 7,303 days, what we have achieved, where we have failed, how RTI has empowered the citizenry, how empowered we are as citizens. In my life, I had filed one RTI. I will not say against to whom, but I did not get a satisfactory response. It was very vague. So, to what extent it has empowered those, or where the loopholes lie? The point is not. It is not it is not the fault of the instrument. It's the fault of the people who implement it. A knife in the hands of a surgeon, knife in the hands of a hooligan. Right? So it is not the fault of the act. It is with the implementation. So in most of the laws, the fault is not with the law. Fault is with the implementation. I always believe, and you must have faith. You are all aware, awakened citizens. You are all citizens of India, voters. So as that, here we are here to introspect, to look at that, and what is to be done, and how empowered you are, and what should be done, and why it should be done, and why it has not been done. All those things needs to be analyzed, discussed. We have here Dilip Babu, who has actually done it, seen it and done it all. So it's like a deja vu moment for him. So we would like to listen it from you, sir. So where we have failed, and where we need to take care. So all these things, I would also like to enlighten myself to know more about it. It's always, dear students, dear friends, it is always good, it's always positive to have that positive mindset and to have that inquisitiveness to learn as a child. That will keep you enlightened, that will keep you happy also. The pleasure in knowing new things is unmatched. It will not be, you'll never get it from eating a pizza or going to a movie or having fun elsewhere. So that pleasure with that hope that you'll always retain that desire and that inquisitive mind inside you to know more about yourself, about the country, about the society, about the law, about the democracy and the functioning of it. Just by saying that this is not happening, complaining will not take you anywhere. Right? So all my best wishes to the department and my very dear Hemant and Pratima ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. With the elegance and crisp you always talk with, that actually will go a long way forward, I believe. So this is a unique blend of someone who was a journalist for almost 3 decades and then the information commissioner of the state, and then when ma'am said that, okay, most of the times we are at the receiving end, someone who used to ask questions, who used to be a voice for the people, and then at the other end of the table, he was also someone who actually decided, or actually at the decisive end, that how to dispense of the big highest order of public functionary. So the former State Information Commissioner, Mr. Dilip Bisoi sir, I think would be a very apt person to talk about this illustration occasion when we will be talking about Right to Information Act 2005. So I would like to invite Dilip Bisoi sir to enlighten us for the next whatever time we can. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Hemant. Thank you, Vitali Madam, for speaking some kind words about me. And Dr. Fatima Sarangi. And in absentia, Mr. Harsha Baricha, RTI Master Trainer and their department. Mr. Manoranjan Panda. And of course, my dear friends, young friends, boys and girls.
Sir.
I am happy that
Also, Parichit.
Dr. Professor Mitali Chinara is present here. It's because I know her for about 35 years. I know her husband, so I consider her as my family friend. And I got an opportunity to speak about her. I have seen her as a teacher and an accomplished singer, Odissi singer. This teacher and singer, faculty of Dr. Vitali Chinara, is very soft. But now she is holding a position, PG Council chairman.
What a joke. And I'm the joke.
Actually, I was wondering. Actually, I was wondering what she will do as an administrator. But really, I am quite impressed. She's so strong. I was telling his husband, I've never expected that she's a strong woman. No. Of course, you will be your right person to tell whether how strong she is. Really, she's a very strong person. And when you go to a administrative question, you need to be very strong. You have to take decisions. So, I really am very impressed, and you are really very fortunate enough to got a lady having iron wishes. You had this PG department, and my wishes are horses. I always think let her be get more responsibility in future also. So we are here to talk about this RTI Act. Uh, Friends, till 2005, before this act was enacted, the entire citizen of the country were at receiving end. And the myth that the people is powerful in a democracy actually exposed after this RTI Act came. We always hear that in a democracy people are the masters, but we are not masters. We are actually indirectly masters because we will vote somebody and he will find somebody to be minister, and the minister will govern the entire country and the entire city.
Shivan bhai.
Directly we are not deciding anything, but RTIF gave a power to the people to decide, to take all these people in task directly. Why I am saying nobody in this system, in this democratic system, let us talk about that, forget about authoritarians. In a democratic system, nobody is responsible for any act of deed or misdeed. I'm giving one example. Those who are in power, they are above law almost. We are talking about justice. For example,
if a police officer will come here and arrest somebody on some flimsy ground and take to the police station, then he will keep you in the custody for 1 day or 2 day, whatever it may be. Then he will release you, saying that no, 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 you are not that person, somebody else is the person. There is no mechanism to bring that person to take the responsibility of this mystery. Anybody, if you can say, for example, a Tahsildar will take a wrong decision. Can he be prosecuted by public? No. So the biggest problem of this country today is the process. Not the final judgment, not the final decision, the process. And a person will be harassed, may die in the process. So that process is very dangerous. And nobody will be responsible for that wrong. You must be hearing that so and so person spent 29 years in jail, but finally the High Court or Supreme Court said no, निर्दोष रे खलास. यदि निर्दोष रे खलास तब ताको prosecute किए करें? Who prosecuted him? So what will happen to all those people? Nothing. That is the beauty of democracy. Nobody is responsible for any harassment to the citizen. If you ask me, I will say this act is a wonderful act. We have hundreds, thousands of acts in this country, hundreds and thousands of acts. But I will say this one is the number one act because it really empowers the citizen. Why it empowers? You make the government official answerable. They have to answer. Here, madam was saying she had applied once in RTI and she got a vague reply. But that vague reply is a power because the officer had to be spend lot of time to give that vague answer. मिछ कहया में बेसी परिश्रम पड़ियो. Now madam is saying we are getting lot of frivolous vague applications. And RTI applications are wasting our time. I agree with that. But that is the power. That is the power of citizen. A single page, A4 size page, one application makes the Vice Chancellor, makes the HOD PG Council, makes HOD Department of Public Administration or Journalism think over it. So that is the beauty of this. I will tell you how much power it has transferred to the citizen. But fortunately or unfortunately, the act is getting diluted, constitutionally diluted, rules wise diluted, And sadly, operational wise also it is being done. And I am interested in the operational part. Operational part, there are two parts. One part is there are two stakeholders, basically the government and the citizen. But in between, there is an arbiter, that is the commission, information commission, central information commission or state information commission. Nowhere in the country, no state, even central information commission has the right number of people to head. The Central Information Commission is headless, and there are two persons only. Two. The act says there should be 10 commissioners, but Central Information Commission there are only two commissioners. In Jharkhand, nobody is there. So the cases are pending there. No commission is there to take a call on the appeals. Odisha, we are better. We have about 5-6 commissioners. We are in a better position with the head of the chief commissioner. We are in a better position. So there are 3 steps. Once you apply for some information, there is a public information officer, PIO. He will take a decision. He will decide whether to give you the information or not. If yes, he will give information, whether he will give the complete information or part of the information. So he will take a decision. Suppose you are not happy with his decision, for not giving information, for giving inadequate information, for giving false information, you can file an appeal. That is the first appeal. A person senior to him in the same department will hear you. So when you won't get justice from the first appellate authority also, you will move to the commission. And you will file a petition in the commission. That is the second appeal, you will file in the commission. Complaint case, of course. 2018 केस पेंडिंग पड़ची ओडिशा मोर देन 18,000 केस 2018 पड़ची 18,000 केस पेंडिंग पड़ची 18 माने आज केता 6 26 8 वर्ष 7-8 वर्ष and many of the information you are seeking may not be relevant after 8 years. So what is the use? This is the operational part is lacking. So there is a dilution in the RTI Act. And dilution in RTI Act means dilution of power transferred to the citizen. On the other side, the citizens are also responsible for this dilution. As Mitali Madam was saying, there are so many applications, trash applications. Why there should be so many trash applications? It's because there is no awareness among the citizens, number one. And unfortunately, journalists are not using this act. Unfortunately. Very few journalists, they use it. And Many a times it is based on agendas, personal agenda, personal whatever. But journalists are not using RTI for information. Hardly 0.009% journalists may be using RTI for information. And many journalists also, very senior journalists, learned journalists, they don't know the daira of RTI. Recently, our foreign minister, the Jaishankar, he said in a press conference that India, the biggest issue of the world is that India is importing oil from Russia. And that is the reason why America is very unhappy and imposed 50% tariff on Indian products imported to America. So in a press conference, Mr. Jaishankar, Indian National Affairs Minister, he said when Biden was the president, he said India can import oil from Russia uh, in a limited quantity. You must understand this oil India is importing, and this oil is feeding many of the European countries, NATO countries, the friends of American countries, because there would be an oil crisis in most of the NATO countries. So when Jayasankar said there was a mandate by the American government to import oil from Russia, so a senior journalist applied to the foreign affairs minister to share the documents, the transaction between the American government and Indian government regarding this mandate. And obviously, the reply is, since it's a matter of two nations, this is an external affair matter, it cannot be disclosed. It has been clearly written in the law book. Anything which involves the sovereign of the country should not be disclosed. It's a banned information. Still you are asking. Why you are asking? You want to put the government in a bad light. There is an agenda. So if you are using the RTI Act for a bad purpose, obviously the government will think twice to withdraw these laws one day. So citizen has to be very careful about asking questions to the power that be. Many of you, how many of you are using the RTI Act for information? Huh? Priyanka? Acha. How many of you used RTI information for news? No. Being student of journalism and a premier institution of Odisha, Utkal University, you are not using. So Mr. Manoranjan Panda is doing a human service by helping poor people, illiterate people to see RTI. So you should also do that. So unless you got involved in this movement, this beautiful law will be diluted. And when it will be diluted, you will be the worst sufferer. I used to say, these days they are calling me to tell most of the government offices, they used to call me how to handle this bogus RTI applications. Actually, there are 5 to 7 types of people. Uh, those are asking questions. One is that some people, they ask question uh, because of they need information. Mostly they are activists. They call themselves activists. So their sole purpose is to expose corruption, maladministration. So for that reason, they are asking information, and they use that information to caution the government, to make people aware of the government's role in governance. And there are people, those are asking RTI information just to be very powerful. A villager, suppose he will ask the video repeatedly questions. So video will think that he will cause a lot of disturbance. So he will give importance to that person. So that person become powerful in the village. वीडियो उसको बुलाते हैं, वीडियो उसको खातिर करते हैं. And some people are there, they want to settle scores also. For example, I don't like this police inspector in a police station. He has harassed me. So I will dump RTI applications. So most of the time of the police station will engage in replying to your RTI application. And sometimes these applications are targeted to somebody else in the office. For example, I got a promotion and XYZ could not. So XYZ will dump application against me. There are personal grudges that encourages RTI applications. And very interestingly, Madam was saying power corrupts and absolute power corrupt absolutely. So when this RTI Act has empowered the citizen also indulge in corruption. You may ask how. There are so many RTI activists, they harass the officials and in return they take money. They harass the contractors, builders and the vendors and take money from them. Interestingly, I had an encounter with such a person. He is a person from Nayagarh. He used to visit all the office every month in the first week, collecting money from all the offices. And most of the officers pay him because to avoid frivolous, vague RTI applications. If you won't pay, you will file 10, 15 RTI applications. And you will surprised to know in Indian society, it is said that police people are the most corrupt people. But this RTI Act has empowered citizens to extract money from police officers also. And that man extracted money from the IIC of Nagar police station. And this Nagar police station IIC and this public information officer, they came to my chamber, they cried. So I said, you give in writing. They said, we cannot give in writing. I said, why? So anyhow, the PIO in his reply to the RTI activist, he said, these are your information, and in the last line, last time I paid you for not asking question, this question, so don't go to the commission office. Okay. So he showed me that reply, and I directed the SP to arrest him and send him to the jail. So these RTI, some of the RTI activists are very good. They are doing very good job for the society, for the nation, for the state, for the people. But there are some people, some black sheeps. They are doing a lot of harm to the RTI. And why? Because you are not getting involved in this movement. When you will get involved in this movement, obviously there will be some reforms in asking questions through RTI. I will tell you one example. Anybody from Ganjam district, Barampur? Huh? Yes. Only one. You are from Barampur or where? Huh? Bhanjanagar. I will tell you the Bhanjanagar story also. In Barampur, they have opened a factory, RTI factory. The RTI rule says if you are a BPL card holder, you do not have to pay the money for application. You did not have to pay money. For information also, you did not have to pay money. That will be supplied free of cost. Okay. So 5 people in Barampur, they have opened a factory. They have 5 cards, BPL cards, not of their somebody else's card. They are applying to all the offices. And the very purpose is collecting money. They will come to the commission will impose a fine, so obviously the officer will be scared of being penalized, being prosecuted, so he will say, why I should get into all this here, I should pay some money to this factory people. I stopped that factory. An executive engineer from Bhanjanagar, he came to my chamber, said, this kind of information they are asking under BPL card. We have to send them 100,000 pages of information. So I told him, when some suspicious person will ask you information, just tell him, come to my office, okay, and come to my office with your BPL card. after nearly about 10 months or a year, the engineer came to me and said, "Thanks, sir, we are not getting any RTI application." I said, "Why?" Because we asked him, he is not appearing and not also asking any information. So BPL card has become very dangerous also. You know, the rules, uh, this is a very citizen friendly act and the rules also very citizen friendly. That is why the poor people who is below the poverty line won't be able to pay the fees or the information charges. So the rules uh, following an Supreme High Court order, they have allowed the BPL people to ask money free of cost. But that is being misused by the APL people, not BPL people, APL people. I will give you another incident, good incident in this Dimapada block office. A poor lady, old lady, widow, she had applied to the block office. They could not get the information. She came to commission office. So I asked her what happened. She said, "Ki, I was allotted a house under uh, Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana, and when I go to the office to take my money, fast installment, the BDO said, you have already taken 40,000 rupees in the first installment. So unless you show us the utilization of the first installment, the second installment will not be released." So she asked the block office to give the information, the decision that the documents that she was given 40,000 rupees. And the block office has no information. So I asked the BDO, you do one thing, either you give the information that you have paid the 40,000 rupees, the check number, check everything, so, or you pay the money. The BDO said there is no document. So he said, I was not there, I have just recently joined, but there is no document. So I asked the BDO, either you give the money, first installment 40,000, or give a house to her at least. She has not been given that house also. So again he came and the BDO said, "Sir, it's not possible to give her a house." Then money, she said, "It's not possible to give money. How can I give?" So I said, "You are not giving 40,000 rupees. She's entitled to as per your um, uh, uh, claim." So I said, "I am imposing a compensation of 50,000 rupees. You pay that 50,000 rupees to the woman." The BDO paid, the woman came to my commission, the BDO also came to my commission, said, "Sir, without any problem to us, the woman got the money." So that is the beauty of the act also. It depends on the commission. Commission will. This is a totally citizen-centric act. And I don't know what are the training they are giving, but the act is very clear. If you are aware of the act, those who are in the other side, the government side, they won't face any trouble. there is a big controversy regarding, since I'm standing in the campus, university, there is a big controversy regarding the certificate, educational qualification certificate asked in RTI Act, whether the university will give the certificate copy or not, or that information or not. The act is very clear. If I am asking the copy of the certificate of my own, the university is bound to give. But if I will ask the copy of the certificate on XYZ, the university has 100% right to deny it. Because it is a person's information. And for that, the university has to take permission of the third person, whether I will share your information to so and so. If you will say yes, then only we will share. Or I, as an applicant, has to prove adequately that this information is for the greater interest of the public. And that is a very vague area. It depends on who is giving the information. Suppose I will argue that this is an information required for the greater public interest, and the PIO will say, I'm not convinced. That matter ends. In the Supreme Court order, this Bandyopadhyay versus CBSE, it is very clear. The order is very clear. You cannot ask a certificate, educational qualification certificate, some other person. You can ask your own, but not others. And I know many of the application in university coming for on that reason also. If somebody got a gold medal and the second in the rank will ask all the information about the gold medals. Anyway, we have a question answer session also, but I must tell you, there is a law, digital law coming, which is going to push RTI Act into oblivion.
Yes.
So that is a great danger. I don't know how that will metaphor. For there is a lot of pressure in reshaping that law. I don't know what will be the real outcome of that law, but that law should take care of this RTI Act. Otherwise, the citizen who are now feeling empowered, empowered to the extent that they can extract money also. So they can indulge in corruption also. I think the government of India, the state governments, and we the people should fight for upkeep of this act. This is a citizen-friendly act, and it's good for those who are against it and those who are for it. For example, an officer is at the receiving end. Tomorrow he may use the RTI Act for his own information also. Many people are doing that. So don't think that since I am the public information officer or fast appellate authority or I am the administrator, this act is bad. No, this act is equally good, useful to you also. You don't know tomorrow if you won't get a promotion, you won't get a hike in salary, you can also ask information. And this act is also very favorable to the woman. This, I would say, is gender biased also. Give that information. because the wife needs the information to fight a case in the court for alimony. So that is how this act is gender biased also. I will not say biased, gender positive also.
It's a positive discrimination.
Yes, gender positive. I say.
Positive intervention.
Yes, positive. So I will tell you all. You are a good friend of mine, and since you are a student of this university, I know that you are serial. I know that. And Naik sir is a great organizer. Great organizer. He used to run an institution. I know him. He's a great organizer. Hemant sir ଅଛନ୍ତି. ଆଉ
I can't do anything.
But I must tell you, use RTI Act to for your own information and for the information or benefit of the general public, your neighbor, your friends, and all these things. Thank you.
Sometimes the loudness of the clappings, applause says that okay, we did something well. Okay, so thank you so much, sir, for enlightening us yet again. Now we are having Mr. Harsha Paricha, sir, the RTI Master Trainer of the INPI Department, Government of Odisha. So, sir will intervene and express his opinions on this item. Paricha, sir.
ସେ କହିବା କମିଶନର ଫର୍ମର କମିଶନର ସାଙ୍ଗେ ଥିଲେ ସବୁ କହିଲେ ମୁଁ ତ କିଛି କହିବା ନାହିଁ, ସବୁ କିଛି କହିଦେଲେ। ତଥାପି ଯେହେତୁ ଡକା ହେଇଛି ମୁଁ ଦୁଇ ପଦ କହିବାକୁ ଚାହୁଁଛି। Esteemed former commissioner and madam chairperson and all the students of this university on behalf of this journalism branches. So, as former commissioner sir was telling that the RT is a most important and unique weapons for the citizens of India, because it is a very hard, adhesive and strong rights of a citizen among the 1800 acts in India. In India, there is 1800 acts. Among that acts, this RT Act is a very positive and very aggressive act. We can say it supersedes to all the acts inside the public authority, right? So there are telling that is I may say one thing, that is in order to implement inside the public authority, there are 4 features of RT. The first one is the access to information should be ruled and denial to it with the punishment. The public authority of the citizen or public, those who are coming to the public authority, they should come within a predefined format or within a rule. That is your application from A, application for fees 10 rupees, and everything should be clearly written. Then only he can liable to get the information from a public information officer. It is the first and foremost principles of the RTA. Then second principles of this RTA is that is denial to be punishment. If you are denied, you are unwanted to provide this information, or there is some bottlenecks or there is some reason behind it, then the reason should be very clearly intimate to the applicant. Due to this cause, we are unable to provide the information or supply the information. This is the second principle. The intimation should be go to the applicant in a due manner. This is the second principle of this RT. Then third principles of this RT is that is the non-compliance of the mandatory provision of a public authority or timely compliance of the RT application should be penalized. Order section 20, subsection 1A. The public information officer, those who are not providing information, the application of an applicant, then he will be penalized. At what point? Because RT is a category number A. as for the Odisha Secretariat, Odisha 1964 Record Manual Act 1964. This RT is a category A. That's why every public information officer, they are bound to comply within the timeline, that's 30 days, right? So there are some discrepancy of this day counting. So I will tell another thing, that is in the RTA, another important features that is the independent public grievance. In general public grievance, we don't have the independent. But in RTA, there is an independent public grievance. How? Commissioner sir, he has the right to independently, he can execute or he can give the decision. He can give the decision or his whatever the penalty, compensation, whatever it is, within the law. And at the same time, applicant has also right. Sir, I had applied the application to this public information officer, but unfortunately, I did not get the information within the timeline. As for the section 7.1, expeditiously, I should get. Due to this cause, I lost these things and detrimentally I suffered. That's why I have to compensate. As for section 19, subsection 8.1b. And also he has right or he has independent. That the PIO is neglecting all the application, he is not complying the request of the citizen within the timeline. That's why, as a binding example, you have to give the penalty. You have to impose the penalty to the public information officer. This is the independence. So PI has independence, applicant has independence, compens for her independence. PIO, how he will comply his independence? Sir, I have received my RT application, no doubt at all. But due to this cause, due to this bottleneck, I could not supply the information within the timeline. So supply of information 30 days, as we know that. And dispose of the first appeal 45 days, as we know that. And for due to sir was telling that due to the pendency of the second appeal, that is the very regrettable thing for Odisha, that is still now most of the second appellant or second appealant, they might have died. गोटे पट अपील करा होछि किंतु से तार सुनानी हैला बेले से मरि थाउछ ए न्यूज़ हमको आसुछ right. So this is the very important act. So in order to watch the public authority और public authority को जगिवा पाई, public authority को corruption को curb करिया पाई, this is the important tool for the citizen. As a citizen, we can use it very user friendly. Though I have no time at all because no director already because Honorable sir, he was my teacher in RTI. ଯେତେବେଳେ 2012 ପୂର୍ବରୁ ମୁଁ ତାଙ୍କ ସହିତ ପ୍ରାକ୍ଟିସ କରିଥିଲି ବା ଶିଖିଥିଲି କିନ୍ତୁ 2012 ରୁ ଷ୍ଟିଲ୍ ନାଉ ଗଭର୍ଣ୍ଣମେଣ୍ଟ ମୁଁ ଯେହେତୁ ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ ଷ୍ଟେଟ୍ ଲେଭେଲରେ ଟ୍ରେନିଂ ଦଉଛି ତେଣୁକରି ଡାଇରେକ୍ଟର କହିବା କଥା କହିଲି ଯେହେତୁ ମୁଁ ତାଙ୍କ କଥା ରକ୍ଷା କରିପାରିଲି କାଟି ନ ପାରିକି ମୁଁ ପଳେଇ ଆସିଛି ସେ ଯାହା ହଉ ଆର୍ଟିଟାକୁ ଆପଣମାନେ ଯେହେତୁ ଆପଣମାନେ ଜର୍ଣ୍ଣାଲିଜମ କରୁଛନ୍ତି ଆର୍ଟିଟା କମ୍ପ୍ଲାଏ କଲାବେଳେ ଭେରି ପ୍ରୋବ୍ଲେମ ହେଉଛି ଏଇଥିପାଇଁ କି ଆପ୍ଲିକାଣ୍ଟ ମାନେ ଯେ ତାଙ୍କର ଯେତେ ସବୁ ଆପ୍ଲିକେସନ କରୁଛନ୍ତି ସେ ଆପ୍ଲିକେସନରେ ସାର୍ ଯାହା କହୁଥିଲେ the subject matter is not clear. Subject matter ଯେତେବେଳେ clear ହଉ ନାହିଁ at that moment PIO ସେ ବୁଲୁଛନ୍ତି ଘୁରି ବୁଲୁଛନ୍ତି ଆମ ଅଫିସ କଥା କହିବେ ଡିପାର୍ଟମେଣ୍ଟ କଥା କହିବେ ଯେ ସାର୍ ଏଟା ତ ନାହିଁ ଏଟା କେମିତି ମାଗିଲେ ଏଟା କୋଉଠୁ ମାଗିବା କୋଉ ସେକ୍ସନରେ ଅଛି କୋଉ ସେକ୍ସନରେ ଅଛି କୋଉ ଏଇ ତେଣୁ ଯେତେବେଳେ whenever we are want to ask any question or application at that moment we have to specify gote section 6.1 प्रकार हम गोटे पर्टिकुलर पब्लिक अथॉरिटी गोटे स्पेसिफिक इंफॉर्मेशन वी हैव टू आस्क स्पेसिफिक इंफॉर्मेशन इंस्टेड ऑफ दैट कोन करा होची ना गोटे लंबा चौड़ा गोटे दिया होची कोन लिस्ट दा दिया होची लंबा चौड़ा लिस्ट जदी दिया होची सेतिरे क्वेश्चन भी पचार पेबा आट इज ए क्वेश्चन नो डाउट बट देयर इज टू क्राइटेरिया one is your hypothetical question then another is non hypothetical question supreme court has divided supreme court has dicho so hypothetical question we cannot do hypothetical question kari pariba na kintu non hypothetical question but it has the answer jeta ki non hypothetical question abe kari pariba what is your name what is how much your salary as for section 41b manual number 10 right So for the public information officer, the compliance is that 41 ABCD jaha sir koi deleni mandatory compliance 17 ta manal update kara our citizen hisab re we have to access from the website. In Odisha there is the robust, that is rtodisha.gov.in. From that RTI site we can get any information from every each public authority. Till now 19,000 public authority has integrated in that RTI portal. तेबे कोन से RTI portal रे हम information पाइबा, से information पाइबा हैला first one is your particular सरकार organization. से ऑफिस के गोटी पेटला कोन कोटला के बे तारो बिल स्कीम के दिए. Second was power and duties. Third was decision making process, formulation of policy. All these things. दरमा केते पाउसती, employee details, केते grants पाइले, concession method कोन अछि, subsidy कोन अछि, सॉफ्ट कॉपी अगर कोन इंफॉर्मेशन अछि, सिटीजन गले कोन पाइबे, सुविधा पाइबे. PIT फास्ट अपील अथॉरिटी के अदर यूजफुल इंफॉर्मेशन. एबे अदर यूजफुल इंफॉर्मेशन रे as per civil case number 990 by 2021 किसान जन वर्सेस यूनियन ऑफ इंडिया रे सुप्रीम कोर्ट आउट 8 पॉइंट दैछथि. ट्रांसफर पॉलिसी, ट्रांसफर ऑर्डर, प्रोक्यूरमेंट, PPP board, RTI application, CAG, PSC para, citizen chapter, discretionary, non-discretionary grants, and domestic and international tour by the chief minister or the state minister. So, a 8 point मते वर्तमान को आपनकर mandatory compliance. In this cases, RTI जो framework आसुची दटा दिया citizen मान पे तो बहुत भलो माने good purpose रे कराइछि, holistic way रे कराइछि, but sometimes I was telling that sometimes misleading करछथि public information officer जोटा कि public authority जे तुम अछि गुडा ऑफिस रे अछि तेनु मु जानि परछि information जोटा मागिबा कथा नाही information मगा होछि तो द्वारा टाइम टा वेस्ट होछि. तबे पीआई हिसाब रे मोर information जहा मते मनोरंजन साहब कहउतले public authority रे कोन सुविधा होछि, एडवांटेज होछि एप्लीकेशन द्वारा सेटा मते कहबे कहछि. सो कोन हमें जते बेला एप्लीकेशन पाउछु एप्लीकेशन टा को कंप्लाई करिया पय हम 30 दिन दरकार होछि नै कि से 30 दिन भीतर जते हम इन्फॉर्मेशन देबा पय चेष्टा करूछु से समय से इन्फॉर्मेशन गुडा को कोन सेक्शन रे न थाउछु एई भली का इन्फॉर्मेशन गुडा को पछाराछु. किंतु प्रकृत पके इन्फॉर्मेशन केमिति पछारबा कथा जो इन्फॉर्मेशन के अवेलेबल अछि, जो इन्फॉर्मेशन के प्रकृत पके नितांत दरकार से इन्फॉर्मेशन मागबा कथा. अदर इन्फॉर्मेशन हमें पाउछु आरटी साइट रो प्रोएक्टिव डिस्क्लोजर ता को पाउछु बा सब ऑटो डिस्क्लोजर ता बाद जोटा को हाउतला सर्टिफिकेट गुडा को हां हमरो जोटा अछि इंस्टीट्यूशनल अछि एजुकेशनल इंस्टीट्यूशन गुडा के हमें मागले पाई परिबे नै सर्टिफिकेट, किंतु गवर्नमेंट ऑफिस हम सर्टिफिकेट पाइबे कि नै. मोर सर्टिफिकेट गवर्नमेंट को देछि, एडमिट डिपार्टमेंट देछि, मु पाइबे कि नै.
It's a public authority.
As a public authority, for report, qualification certificate is not personal. किंतु अधिकांश पीआई कोन करछथि किछि गुडे माने भितर पसुना दे आर नॉट गोइंग थ्रू द डीपली दातिया तो जाय फल ता रिजेक्ट कर दला परे फास्ट अपील होछि, फास्ट अपील सेकंड अपील होछि, टाइम देरी होछि, अनेक मान पावर रिसोर्स नष्ट होछि. सो एप्लिकेंट मध्ये जाउछथि तो तार अर्थ हैला एजुकेशनल क्वालिफिकेशन आल्सो दिया जाय पारे इंफॉर्मेशन दिया जाय पारे. जेतले आमे गोटा पोलियो अथॉरिटी जाउछु आमे देई दोछु जे एटा होछि मोर क्वालिफिकेशन आ आपनकर दरकार कथा देखा. जदि पब्लिक जेतले पब्लिक अथॉरिटी जाउछि इट ट्रीटेड एज ए पब्लिक इंफॉर्मेशन राइट. तबे कोटा रहिला आपन मानकर पर्सनल इंफॉर्मेशन जोटा आबे सिटीजन हिसाब रे मागुछु आ जहा सार कहउतले फैक्ट्री खोला होछि बा मिसलीडिंग करा होछि सिटीजन मान को कोन ना अजथा केवल पर्सनल इंफॉर्मेशन कहले तो वर्तमान आ किछि नाही. सेटा हला आपन मानकर एचआरएमएस रे अछि, आपनकर दरमा केते कहउछन्ती, आपनकर को पोजीशन रे अछन्ती बा आपनकर स्थावर संपत्ति केते, अस्थावर संपत्ति केते, से समस्त तो अछि नो डाउट पर्सनल इंफॉर्मेशन. ता बादे आउ कोन अछि पर्सनल इंफॉर्मेशन कहले पब्लिक अथॉरिटी तरफ हमको ठीक है भाबिबा पडुछि कोन कोटा प्रकृत ना गोटे प्रेजेंट आर्ट परमानेंट आर्ट सेटा गोटे आपनकर पर्सनल इंफॉर्मेशन. से पर्सनल इंफॉर्मेशन ही मागी देबे ताकर को रोग होइतिला फिडुशियरी इंफॉर्मेशन जोटा कि आपन सेक्शन 81 ई को जगह से आपनकर ट्रीटमेंट हेतिले जोटा दिहा जाय हेति कोने से काहे कि को जगह रे अछन्ती स्वामी स्त्री गंडगोल हे गले, स्वामी स्त्री गंडगोल हैला परे ताकर समाधान हे गला. स्वामी मागुसी ऑफिस को आसी पेंशन ए बागरे जे मोस्टली कोन लिखितिला सर आपकी आरटी एप्लीकेशन ता गुड कॉपी ता मते कॉपी ता केड़ दे होबनी देओ के 81 ଜି ରେ ତାକୁ ଯେ ଫିଜିକାଲ ଥ୍ରେଟ୍ ଅଛି ତେଣୁ ସେଟା ଦେଇ ହବନି ସେଟା ନ ଦେଲେ ସେ କଣ ଅଛି ସାର୍ ଯାହା କହୁଥିଲେ ଫାଷ୍ଟ ଅପିଲ କରିଦେବେ 91 ପ୍ରକାର ଫାଷ୍ଟ ଅପିଲ କରିଦେବେ ଫାଷ୍ଟ ଅପିଲ ରେ ଆପିଲେଟ୍ ଅଥରିଟି ପବ୍ଲିକ ଇନଫର୍ମେସନ ଅଫିସର ଷ୍ଟାଣ୍ଡ ନିଆଯାଏ ଷ୍ଟାଣ୍ଡ ନେଲା ପରେ ସେ ଠିକ କଥା କହିଛନ୍ତି ନା ଥ୍ରେଟ୍ ଅଛି ଫିଜିକାଲ ଥ୍ରେଟ୍ ଅଛି ତାପରେ ସେ ସେକେଣ୍ଡ ଅପିଲ ଯିବେ ସେକେଣ୍ଡ ଅପିଲ ଅଯଥା ପବ୍ଲିକ ଇନଫର୍ମେସନ ଅଫିସର ଫାଷ୍ଟ ଆପିଲେଟ୍ ଅଥରିଟି ଆପିଲେଟ୍ ଯିବେ କମିଶନର ଟାଇମ ବରବାଦ ଆଉ ତାର କଣ ଅସୁବିଧା ଅଛି ଅଧିକାଂଶ କେବଳ ସେକେଣ୍ଡ ଅପିଲ ପଢୁଛି এটা হচ্ছে পব্লিক ইনফরমেশন অফিসর পাখে গোটে সিটিজেন ମାନଙ୍କ গোটে লাকুনা যেটা কি ইনফরমেশন মাগিবার তরিকা মধ্যে আসুনি ଆଉ ବେଳେ ବେଳେ କଣ କରା ହଉଛି ଯୋଉଟା ମ୍ୟାଣ୍ଡେଟ ଜିନିଷ ଗୁଡାକ ଫିଲଅପ ହେଇ ଆସୁନି ଯାହାରି ଫଳରେ ପବ୍ଲିକ ଇନଫରମେସନ ଅଫିସରଙ୍କ ପାଇଁ ସେଟା ଗୋଟେ ତକଲିଫ ହଉଛି ଯୋଉଟା ରିଏଲି କଥା ମୁଁ କହିବି ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ ଆପଣଙ୍କର ବାଲେଶ୍ୱର ବାଲେଶ୍ୱରରେ ଆଜି ଗୋଟେ ଜନଶୁଣାଣି କମ୍ପ୍ଲେନ୍ କରି ଆସୁଛି ବାଲେଶ୍ୱରରେ କଣ ଅଛି ଗୋଟେ ତୁଲା ବୋଲି ଜଣେ ଅଛନ୍ତି ସେ ତୁଲା ବୋଲି ତୁଲା ସେ ଗତ ଥର ମୁଁ ତାଙ୍କ ସହିତ ଡିରେକ୍ଟଲି ଫୋନରେ କଥାବାର୍ତ୍ତା କରିଥିଲି ଯୋଉ ଅଫିସ ଇଣ୍ଟିଗ୍ରେଟେଡ ହେଇନାହାନ୍ତି ତାକୁ ମତେ ମୁଁ ଅନଲାଇନରେ ହିଁ ତାକୁ ଆପ୍ଲିକେସନ ମାଗିବି ଆମେ ତାଙ୍କୁ ବତେଇଦେଲୁ ଡିପାର୍ଟମେଣ୍ଟରୁ ଆମେ ତାକୁ କହିଦେଲୁ ଯେ ଏଇ ଜିନିଷଟା ଏଇଟା ଯେ ଆପଣଙ୍କର କଟକରେ ହିଁ ହେଇଛି ବାକି ତକ କୋଉଠି ହେଇନି ଫୋନରେ ମଧ୍ୟ କହିଦେଲୁ ଜଣେଇ ବି ଦେଲୁ ତଥାପି ସେ ମାନିଲେନି ସିଏମଓ ଅଫିସକୁ ଗ୍ରିଭାନ୍ସ କଲେ ସିଏମଓ ଅଫିସକୁ ଗ୍ରିଭାନ୍ସ କଲେ ତ ଆମେ ଦେବାକୁ ବାଧ୍ୟ ତ ୟାରି ପରିପ୍ରେକ୍ଷୀରେ କଣ ଅସୁବିଧା ହେଲା ତାକୁ କୁହା ହେଇଥିଲା ପିଆଇଙ୍କର ସମୟ ନଷ୍ଟ ହେଲା सीएम ऑफिसर समय नष्ट है अଯଥା आरटीआई टाकू अଯଥା यूज तो सेति में वर्तमान ला बाची आरटीआई रो स्टेटस कानट बी पछारी पाइबा नै हम कोठी ग्रीवांस एटा गोटे भलो डिसिजन लिया जायछि तापरे वर्तमान रो परिप्रेक्षी रे आगु जोटा थिला गोटे बोधे एटा सार रो समय रे हेछि आपन थिला इच्छा दिन सुनिल विश्वास सार गोटा देइछन कोर्ट स्टाम्प भी थिला फिजिकल देला बेले केवल मोड ऑफ पेमेंट ओनली कोर्ट स्टाम्प फीस वास्ते किंतु वर्तमान ताको जुडिशियल स्टाम्प पेपर मध्ये करा गला जदि फिजिकल मोड अनुसार तो सेटा वर्तमान गोटे नुवा एडिशन अगस्त मास रो नुवा एडिशन एटा ही गोटे नुवा एडिशन अछि आउ कहबा गले आपण माने सब बही पढले जानि पारबे आ आपण मान पाइ मध्ये मु गोटे किछि कहबा को पडियोनी मु गोटे YouTube मध्ये करछि सेक्शन 1 रु 31 पर्यंत टोटल हल्लो माने उड़िया रे करछि इंग्लिश रे करछि आपण माने YouTube सर्च करि देखि परिबे आ सारंगर गोटे जजमेंट मध्ये भलो जजमेंट मध्ये मो YouTube रे पकेछि प्राय समस्त कमिशनर सार जो मानकर भलो जजमेंट अछि सेटा मध्ये मु पकेछि सुप्रीम कोर्ट रो जजमेंट गुडा मध्ये अछि आपण माने देखि परिबे हर्ष परिछि आरटीआई जदि क्लिक कर देबे YouTube रे आपण माने पाइ परिबे तो प्रकृत पक्षे सार को कहया प्रकार आसिली इथिबे जे आरटीआई टाको भलो रे सेंसिटाइज करा होनी इथिबे कि वर्तमान कोरोना ठारो मु निजे जाउथिले ट्रेनिंग देबा ପାଇଁ प्रत्येक डिस्ट्रिक्ट बुली किंतु वर्तमान कोरोना पर सेटा बंद हेछि वर्तमान प्रत्येक अल्टरनेटिव जे ऑनलाइन ट्रेनिंग होछि जेटा कि सबसे सिटी ट्रेनिंग रे ट्रेनिंग पाउछु किंतु दुखर विषय सारता कहउथिले सिटीजन माने वर्तमान अवेयरनेस हे करना जो द्वारा कोन करा होछि डिफिकल्टी सेटा होछि पब्लिक अथॉरिटी लो मु एप्लीकेशन कली होम डिपार्टमेंट से इंफॉर्मेशन होम डिपार्टमेंट सेटा कोन करछथि ना क्लोजली कनेक्टेड पब्लिक अथॉरिटी से ट्रांसफर करछथि जनरल सेशन सेटा राइट ना भूल राइट अछि आ जेतल ट्रांसफर करा होछि द इंटिमेशन इज मध्ये एप्लीकेंट को दिया होछि होइबार किंतु एप्लीकेंट कोन करछथि डायरेक्टली से आ काहा को अपील करिया था 30 दिन हला पर इंफॉर्मेशन पाइले नै का करिया था होम डिपार्टमेंट करिया था का करिया था जा को ट्रांसफर कराई ता करिया था किंतु एई जे हमको असुविधा होछि एटा जे पब्लिक अथॉरिटी को जहाँ को ट्रांसफर करे ताको एप्लीकेशन से तार लगा अछि सेची अपील न करी से करछन्ती होम डिपार्टमेंट जार फल होम डिपार्टमेंट रो फास्ट अपीलेट अथॉरिटी आज पर सुप्रीम कोर्ट ऑर्डर प्रकार से कोन करछन्ती ना नोटिस पठौछन्ती नोटिस पठेला परे सेटा गोटे ऑर्डर बाहर करछन्ती जे एप्लीकेशन ता हम पाखे नाही हम आपन एप्लीकेशन ता पठे देछु ए आके ताको रिजेक्शन न करी गोटे ऑर्डर टाइप बाहर करी कोन एई ऑर्डर रे मेमो दिया होछि जो ऑफिस से ताको अपील करबा एटा मध्ये गोटे प्रॉब्लम होछि जोटा सिटीजन माने जानि सुद्धा करि पारु ना जानु संति किंतु केते जिनिस रे भूली जाउ संति कि ठीक भाबे करि पाबे जार फल रे एप्लीकेशन माने पब्लिक अथॉरिटी रो समय भी बर्बाद होछि बा सरकार रो जोटा कि सेक्शन 79 प्रकार अଯଥା डाइवर्ट होछि बा सीधा साधा कोदिले अपन रिसोर्स डाइवर्ट होछि टाइम डाइवर्ट होछि समय डाइवर्ट होछि आउ गोटे कथा जे सार कहते से कथा मु ए करी कहूची टी हेमंत कुमार जहा गंजाम रो बा आपनरो नेम एठ अछंती गुडा आरटी एक्टिविस्ट बालेश्वर बोलंतु भद्रक बोलंतु से मानकर किसी पंक्ति गुड़ाक भी ठीक रोनी आपण मानकर कौन सी सब्जेक्ट मैटर भी क्लैरिटी न थाउची से माने अपील करिवे सेकंड अपीलेट अथॉरिटी से तो कोन हेइथिबो सेकंड अपीलेट अथॉरिटी जहा इन्फॉर्मेशन दे जहा डिसीजन देबे दैट इज फाइनल फॉर ऑल तो से क्षेत्र रे से माने केवल सेकंड अपील पर पड़ जाउ जा फल सेकंड अपील मध्ये पडुची तो आउ गोटे प्रॉब्लम कोन होची पब्लिक अथॉरिटी भितरे पब्लिक इन्फॉर्मेशन ऑफिसर को पई जे टाइम ड्यूरेशन भितरे जो इन्फॉर्मेशन देबा था सेटा दिया ही परु नहीं तार गोटे कारण जे सेक्शन गुडा जो इन्फॉर्मेशन मंगा होची सेक्शन 5 फॉर प्रकार प्राइवेट बे मान को इन्फॉर्मेशन मंगा होची से इन्फॉर्मेशन गुडा को टाइमली आसी पाउ नाही जारी फल टाइमली दिया जाय परनी मु केवल आप मान जो पब्लिक अथॉरिटी तरफ जो समस्या गुडा होची तेणु बेले बेले कोन ना पब्लिक अथॉरिटी सेक्शन मधे कोन इन्फॉर्मेशन ठीक टाइमली दिया ही पाउ बा देबा पे नाराज होची से क्षेत्र रे ही टाइम लाइन भितरे इन्फॉर्मेशन दिया जाय पाउ नै एटा होची प्रकृत पके पब्लिक अथॉरिटी रे कोन कोन माने समस्या होची एई भली गोटे समस्या आ अजथा प्रश्न करथिबे माने जेटा तो आरटीआई वर्तमान जेहेतु सुप्रीम कोर्ट कहि देला हाइपोथेटिकल नॉन हाइपोथेटिकल क्वेश्चन तेणु कर क्वेश्चन करबा सब क्षेत्र रे क्वेश्चन मार्क कराइ सब क्षेत्र रे जोटा इन्फॉर्मेशन नाही सेथिरे मध्ये इन्फॉर्मेशन कराइ तो जोटा कि नॉन हाइपोथेटिकल क्वेश्चन तो सेटा को पढी की ताको कंप्लाई कला बेले हमकु ठीक असुविधा भी होउची तो टाइम टेकिंग भी होउची तो जदि किसी डाउट हो मु पचारि मु बेमोरटा किसी कहि पारुनी सब विषय वस्तु आपण माने जानि छथि सार कहले तीनटा स्टेज रे गोटे हला एप्लीकेशन फॉर्म ए 30 टका माने 10 टका एप्लीकेशन फीस वर्तमान सब ऑनलाइन हे गला आपनकर ई पेमेंट मध्ये सेकंड फर्स्ट अपील सेकंड अपील पे ऑनलाइन हे गला आरटीआई साइट पे आपनकर फर्स्ट अपील ओडिशा इन्फॉर्मेशन कमिशन पे सेकंड अपील ई पेमेंट गेटवे सिस्टम मध्ये हे गला एटा मध्ये आपण मान जानि थिबे निश्चित भाबरे आ विषय वस्तु हला आरटीआई रो मैंडेटरी कंप्लायंस गुडा को प्राय तो पब्लिक अथॉरिटी करि पारनांती काहे ना से माने बोते टाइम दे पारनांती बा से माने बुझी पारनांती जेतले बे वर्तमान थर्ड पार्टी ऑडिट करिया पे हम चिठी करिछु चिठी थर्ड पार्टी ऑडिट रो करिया पे 2023 रो हम चिठी करिछु किंतु वर्तमान सुधा आपण मानना जहा देखछु अति कम रे आपण 100 150 पब्लिक अथॉरिटी ही वर्तमान थर्ड पार्टी ऑडिट करछंती आ बाकी तो करना दी जोटा के ईयर एंड हेबा जाउछि सबसे ए थर्ड पार्टी ऑडिट ता होछि प्रकृत पक्ष सिटीजन पाई गोटे ट्रांसपेरेंसी तैयारी करिया पे सुप्रीम कोर्ट कहिसंती ताकर 990 2021 रे जे एटा थर्ड पार्टी ऑडिट हबो बोली तो वर्तमान थर्ड पार्टी ऑडिट मध्ये होछि गोटे पब्लिक अथॉरिटी थर्ड पार्टी ऑडिट रे जदी किछि असुविधा अछि सिटीजन मध्ये काउंटर अटैक करिया पे ताकर फीडबैक्स देबा पे मध्ये अछि जे सार मध्ये कहउतले एटा जेतो गोटे महत गुड तैयार कराइछि तेनो सिटीजन मानकर दे हैव द राइट टू गिव द फीडबैक्स टू द सिटीजन दैट यू हैव नॉट अपडेटेड योर डाटा within the timeline or within your public authority in a correct data and present data ए भली देई पाइबे आपण माने भी देई पाइबे कारण आपण माने वर्तमान पढुचंती अनेक समय मनोरंजन सार पचारछंती ए इन्फॉर्मेशन थिबो कि एते मागी पारिबो कि जदि नले एप्लीकेशन टा करबी जदि मागी पारिबो नु एप्लीकेशन करबी ओ कथा आता हे जदि एप्लीकेशन टीआई पॉजिटिव होची पब्लिक इन्फॉर्मेशन ऑफिसर पॉजिटिव होची मु कहूची सर आप कोनती मु कहैछि आ इन्फॉर्मेशन टा पाइछि तो एटा होची पब्लिक अथॉरिटी पब्लिक इन्फॉर्मेशन ऑफिसर गोटे देबार सब जिंस रे देबार रहिबार अछि जोटा कि पब्लिक पाइबा पे अधिकार अछि मैंडेट अछि से जिंस ओटा देबार रहिबार अछि जदि सेति त मानसिकता त नाही ताहले ही आरटीआई टा टिके गोळी घांटी होची तले आरटीआई टा गोळी घांटी रे किछि नै आरटीआई टा बहुत सुंदर एक्ट 1800 एक्ट एबो अछि सेति भितर एटा गोटे बढ़िया एक्ट जो एक्ट को तार बेसिस मध्ये अछि कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल बेसिस अछि जोटा कि 19 ए प्रकार करा हेछि आपनकर डेमोक्रेटिकल बेसिस अछि आपनकर लॉजिकल बेसिस अछि तेनो आरटीआई एक्ट गोटे बड माने बहुत भलो वीपर सिटीजन मान जो द्वारा कि से माने ट्रांसपेरेंसी मेंटेन करि परबे आपनकर जो माने करप्शन होछि करप्शन को बार करिया पय ए आरटीआई टा बाछि काहे कि ता आपण मान जानिथिबे जे ओनर राइट जे कि प्रथम स्टार्ट करले से प्रथम मास्टर रोल गोटे मागले काहे एटा के बात आसना तापूर्व तो फ्रीडम ऑफ इन्फॉर्मेशन थिला ओडिसा रे भारत रो चारिटी राज्य रे फ्रीडम ऑफ इन्फॉर्मेशन थिला 2002 रो आरटीआई एक्ट केबे आसला 12 ऑफ अक्टोबर 2005 आसला नहीं किंतु तापूर्व फ्रीडम ऑफ इन्फॉर्मेशन थिला से फ्रीडम ऑफ इन्फॉर्मेशन रे से माने कोन मागि दिले ना गोटे मास्टर रोल मागि दिले राजस्थान रो मास्टर रोल रे केबे आप केते मूल्य लागिबे केते कोन तार मास पूरा रिपोर्ट किंतु देले नै न देबा फल रे आपरो कोन हैला ना पार्लियामेंट को पिटिशन कला पार्लियामेंट रे डिसाइड हला से कांग्रेस कमिटी थिला आपनकर 5 अक्टोबर रे एटा इम्प्लीमेंट एटा ही तार विषय वस्तु जेटा कि मो सार सब बुझेले कमिशनर सार को पाटे तो भाषा नहीं କିଛି କହିବା ପାଇଁ ତେଣୁ ଯଦି କିଛି ଡାଉଟ୍ ହବ କୋରି ହବ ଅବଶ୍ୟ ମୁଁ ଆରଟି ଆକ୍ଟ ପୁରା ଘୋଷି ଦେଇଛି ଖାଇଥିଲା ଦୀର୍ଘ 12 ବର୍ଷ ହେଲାଣି ସେ ଟ୍ରେନିଂ ଦେଇ ଅଛି ତେଣୁ କେତେବେଳେ କଣ ଯଦି ଅସୁବିଧା ହବ ମତେ ମଧ୍ୟ ଫୋନ କରିପାରିବେ ବା ଏନି ଡାଉଟ୍ କରି ଅଛି ଆପଣ ମାନେ ପଚାରି ପାରିବେ ମୁଁ yes online or physical online. So before filing this online application, you have to browse the URL Uniform Research Locator, that is rtodisha.gov.in, right? RT Odisha, yes. Sir.
हाँ सेटा
अछि
अच्छे समय होबनी खाली कहि
कहि दउछि rtodisha.gov.in गला परे तार राइट साइड रे गोटे अछि सबमिट RT application -open सेठी क्लिक कर देले यू विल गेट सम पॉइंट्स से पॉइंट्स गुडा पढि देबे पॉइंट गुडा पढि के ओके कर देबे ओके कर देला पे फॉर्म आसीबो फॉर्म ए आसीबो फॉर्म ए रे पूरा फिलअप कर देबे फिलअप करके ओटीपी वर्तमान ओटीपी अलॉट करा है ओटीपी वेरिफिकेशन ओटीपी रो वेरिफिकेशन हला परे आपन को ई पेमेंट गेटवे आसी हला ई पेमेंट गेटवे सरी गला माने आपन को एप्लीकेशन एटा होची प्रोसीजर जदी आपण चाहउछंती काली होंतु काली मोर ट्रेनिंग अछि जो माने चाहउछंती ऑनलाइन ट्रेनिंग फोन कर तो लिंक दे देबी आपण माने रहिबे देखिबे टोटल मो सेठी सेशन ता करछि आपनकर विभिन्न क्षेत्र रे ऑनलाइन ता लास्ट रो होछि आफ्टरनून रे प्रथम होछि तनो जो माने भी चाहिबे तो फोन करके बुझिया पे कहबे आछि किछि भी प्रश्न तार छंदी सांग एक्सप्लोर करू Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
I'd like to request students to offer a plan because that day is a ultimate green initiative. We should promote green. So the house is open for questions, ideas, thoughts. So any immediate questions, except how to file an RTA? That question is already over. So same question again. Okay, please.
My question is why there is a particular time frame and set for the receive the information, but orders come to the PRUs, further delays in giving information, and also you can share your challenges in your tenure.
Why there is a time frame? Huh? No, no problem. I feel comfortable. The time frame is to punish the country.